Oh, it's okay, little baby, don't cry.
This boy, Luke, gets bullied at school by a group of thugs. What they don't know is that Luke's brother, David, a recently retired Special Forces soldier, is watching over him.
I want you to show me who hit you yesterday. What are you gonna do?
When David finds out what's been happening, he asks Luke to point out the ones responsible.
Don't sit and give me a hard time.
Determined to teach them a lesson, David takes Luke to follow the bullies to a bar. David calls over the bartender and orders a fireball cocktail packed with chili peppers. Then, for each of the bullies' girlfriends, he orders a drink as well.
Shots for the ladies and a cosmopolitan for each of the guys.
Sensing the provocation, one of the thugs storms over.
I don't want it though. You can have it.
Drink in hand, and throws it in David's face. David just smiles and returns the favor with a fiery cocktail. When it comes to those who hurt his little brother, David doesn't hold back. Each of them takes a heavy blow.
For the damages.
After leaving cash to cover the damages, he walks out with Luke. But no one knows that David isn't actually Luke's brother. He's the former comrade of Luke's real brother. Tragedy hit Luke's family hard 2 weeks ago. His brother died in combat. After the loss of their eldest son, Caleb, in the war, the Peterson family, Spencer, his wife Laura, and their 2 children, Luke and Anna, are struggling to cope. One morning, Laura is seen drowning in sorrow after Spencer and Luke head out of the house. Suddenly, a seemingly polite and composed man arrives at their doorstep. Laura is taken aback when he addresses her by her name, apparently aware of who she is.
I knew your son, Caleb. And we trained together and served together and well, we came to be good friends.
The man introduces himself as David Collins, a former U.S. Army sergeant, and claims he was Caleb's closest friend during their service. Laura then invites David into their home and offers him a drink, albeit a sense of suspicion still lingering on her mind. He continues to explain that he had spent several months recovering in a military hospital due to an injury and came over right after being discharged.
I was with him when he died. One of the things he asked was for me to check on y'all. He wanted me to tell you that he loved you.
Overwhelmed with sadness, Laura excuses herself to use the washroom where she sobs uncontrollably. Upon returning to the living room, David shows her a photo of Caleb's deployment. Laura's previous doubts about him vanish into thin air instantly. Noticing the saddened expression on Laura's face, David quickly puts on an apologetic facade and pretends to be leaving.
I probably should have called first, but I'm gonna be on my way now.
However, Laura persuades him to stay by insisting that Anna would want to meet him. Warm and respectful, David quickly earns Laura's trust, though Anna remains wary. Upon hearing his plans to stay at a local motel, Laura offers David a room in their home for as long as he needs.
In fact, you can stay in Caleb's old room. We insist.
After Anna leaves for work, Laura shows David to his guest room. She reassures him that she does not mind him using Caleb's room and leaves him to get settled in. As soon as she is gone, David is seen wearing an unreadable expression. Meanwhile, Luke is harassed by bullies at school but does not have the guts to retaliate. He puts on an indifferent disposition when Laura picks him up from school, acting as though nothing happened.
How was your day?
It was good.
Great.
As David settles in, he quickly involves himself in the Petersons' lives. Back at home, Luke gets to know David while Spencer is heard arguing with Laura for letting a supposed stranger into their home.
You know what? What if he has the PTSD or whatever it's called? Some of these guys come back with mental health problems, Laura.
He is worried that the soldier's friendly demeanor masks a darker, unstable side often seen in veterans suffering from PTSD. Meanwhile, David notices the bruises on Luke's face inflicted by bullies at school, but the latter shrugs it off casually.
Yeah, I got hit with a football in gym class.
After having a brief exchange with David, Spencer storms off in rage, and Laura urges Luke to do his homework. David praises Luke for his intellect as he helps the boy with his homework, making him feel flattered.
So you're kind of smart, huh?
I guess so.
Soon, Anna returns home from work but remains cold toward David. On the other hand, Spencer's attitude toward their guest has evidently changed for the better. Late at night, the duo shares a deep conversation over beer and a football game. As Spencer unwittingly pours his heart out to David, the latter learns that he is facing finance and job-related stress.
He's only been there for what, like 4 years, but he's got a degree. So boom, suddenly he's regional manager.
Spencer is unsatisfied that his young colleague, who has only joined the company for a short time, is the one promoted to regional manager instead of him, just because he doesn't have a degree. Laura's worries about their finances aggravates the situation further. When David reveals his plan to travel to Florida and work in construction, Spencer immediately objects to it and asks him to prolong his stay with them.
That's crazy. You don't know where you're going. Stay here for a couple more days.
By then, Spencer has started to take a liking towards David. While the older man gets himself another beer, the expression on David's face darkens. It did not take long before David became a supportive figure in the family. He even goes to pick up Luke from school on Laura's behalf and solves his big problem of school bullying, earning Luke's complete trust. On the other hand, David's bond with Anna is more complicated. That evening, Laura forces Anna to take David with her to a Halloween party. While getting ready for the party, Anna assumes Luke is occupying the washroom and urges him to come out, only to come face to face with a half-naked David. Stunned by his perfect figure, she stutters, blushing uncontrollably. Although reluctant, Anna brings David along to the party hosted by her friend, Kristen. When she reveals that she has a boyfriend, Zeke, he promises to keep it a secret between them.
I won't say anything. It's none of my business.
David quickly impresses her friends with his good looks. While Anna sneaks away with Zeke, Anna's friend Kristen is accosted by her aggressive ex-boyfriend, Drew. David intervenes and protects her by beating up Drew.
Get him out of here.
Impressed by him, Kristen later sleeps with David, unaware of his dark side. During the party, David also inquires about buying firearms from Anna's friend, Craig. When asked why he needed it,
I'm a soldier, man. I like guns.
he then notices that Anna and Zeke are in the midst of a fight. Evidently in a bad mood, Anna decides to leave early, and David takes the initiative to take the wheel. On the ride home, Anna expresses frustration about her boyfriend Zeke's lack of ambition while she has been saving for college.
He just isn't moving on. I mean, he doesn't even have a job.
David flatters her, saying he would not have gone to war if he had a girl like her.
Hell, if I had a girl like you back home, I wouldn't have gone over to the Middle East to get shot at.
Touched, she offers to make him a mix CD when he expresses interest in a song on the radio. Upon returning home, Anna gets immersed in music and her thoughts as she creates the mix CD for David as promised. Unbeknownst to her, the man is sitting motionless in his room with a grim, almost frightening look on his face. The same day, Anna accidentally overhears David having an intense phone conversation with an unknown caller using Luke's phone. He seems to be demanding a new face from someone suspected to be a plastic surgeon.
Fingers, yes, as soon as possible. I'm off the grid for now, but there are people trying to look for me.
It could be heard from the conversation that someone is going after him. Feeling suspicious, Anna contacts the military base for more information to verify his identity.
Yeah, his name's David Anderson Collins. I can tell you the unit that he served in if that helps.
This phone call triggers an alert at a private military contractor called KPG. It turns out David is the test subject of military was assumed dead based on the military records. Major Richard Carver, the head of the project, assembles a special forces team upon knowing that David is with the Petersons and heads to his location.
Book me on the next flight. If we need to charter something, do it, and I'm gonna need some shooters.
Soon after, David meets up with Craig and his associate to buy guns. Upon confirming that David has brought cash with him, Craig's partner eagerly introduces the firearms he brought.
I mean, it's a standard Beretta. I'm sure you're familiar with it. In my opinion, if you've seen one of these, you've seen them all.
David then declares that he will take up all of the items, which delights the other two. The good news, however, did not last long for them.
I'll cut you a deal. You can take them all off my hands.
No, I'm going to kill you.
Without blinking an eye, David murders both men with a handgun before stealing their weapons and grenades. Meanwhile, Anna receives updates from the military base about David and tries to tell Laura about it, but is interrupted by Spencer's return. It comes to light that Spencer's boss and girlfriend have died under mysterious circumstances.
Like both taking a bunch of prescription pills. It was like they committed suicide together or something.
Ironically, this supposed tragedy paved the way for Spencer's sudden promotion and salary raise. Soon, Anna receives a bad news through a phone call from Zeke, telling her that Craig has been murdered. Overwhelmed with shock, Anna heads to the restaurant where Kristen works to seek solace. Back at home, David and Luke sit out on the porch to carve pumpkins for Halloween. David finds their kitchen knife blunt and forks out his own Swiss Army knife, cutting through the pumpkin in one swift motion.
Do you carry that with you, like, all the time? Well, this thing? Sure.
At the restaurant, Anna shares with Kristen the shocking information she received from the military.
They told me that David Collins died a week ago.
David Collins supposedly died a week ago, his demise caused by a fire in a military hospital in Arizona. These disturbing coincidences build Anna's suspicions further, and Kristen suggests she ask Luke to look up the numbers David has called on his burner. With the pumpkins carved up, David and Luke get back inside the house. The former encourages Luke to defend himself against the bullies by bringing a knife to school.
They take it off you and beat you up. You go around their houses at night and burn them down with their families inside. What's the worst they can do?
He then gifts Luke a Swiss Army knife. Right then, Anna returns home, pretending as though nothing happened. casually striking up a conversation. As she walks past them, Anna discreetly picks up David's phone when they are not looking and quickly retreats to her room. She then turns on some loud music and snaps a photo of the phone numbers in the call history. At that moment, David's phone abruptly rings, throwing Anna into a state of panic. Not wanting to get caught, she hastily tosses the phone onto the bed in David's room before rushing back to her room. Almost immediately, David appears in the hallway with a grim expression. Tracing the subtle phone ring, he marches to his room and picks up the phone as a deep-seated suspicion rises in him. David lingers outside Anna's room in an attempt to eavesdrop, but all he hears is loud music blasting through the door. Holding her breath behind the door the entire time, Anna only lets down her guard when he finally leaves. Not long later, she receives a call from Zeke, who is being detained by the authorities. It turns out that he is convicted of killing Craig and his partner, as the gun used in the killing was found in his van.
But you're innocent.
And then they searched my room and they found some other stuff.
Filled with despair, Anna feels that the world around her is collapsing, and it all begins with David's appearance. Anna confides in her family, and though her mother shares her sorrow, Spencer is particularly dismissive.
You want to know why Zeke was arrested for murder? Because he probably did it, that's why.
He was already disapproving of Zeke to begin with, which is why she kept their relationship in the shadows. As the fight between the father and daughter gets intense, Anna reveals what she found out about David from the military.
Called the military base that he said he was from, and they told me he was dead.
Nonetheless, the man justifies her suspicions calmly.
That's military intelligence for you.
By explaining that he was from a special forces unit and that the military gave her a cover story for civilians. Having said that, he fishes out his military name tags to prove his identity. Convinced by David's words, Spencer is infuriated by Anna's accusations and demands that she apologize to him.
Anna Peterson, you owe him an apology right now. You watch your mouth, young lady.
In a rage, Anna cusses at her father and storms off to her room. Feigning innocence, David continues to explain the misunderstanding to the Petersons couple. While Anna sits in contemplation, she is interrupted by David's sudden appearance. Taken aback, she freezes in terror, expecting hostile behavior from him. At first, David begins in a gentle manner.
I just wanted to say how sorry I am about Craig.
He promises to move on from their house in a few days, hinting at Anna to stop poking her nose into his business.
Okay.
His intense eyes fixed on Anna until she finally agrees.
Okay.
While leaving, David's attention is caught by the mixed CD Anna made for him. As though nothing happened, he puts on a superficial, cheery facade.
Thank you. I can't wait to listen to it.
Meanwhile, Richard heads off to the airport while assembling a team for his mission to capture David.
I want every contractor within a 100-mile radius, and I need a team mobilized by the time I land.
As Anna digs deeper, she discovers using a reverse directory that David had been calling a plastic surgeon in Miami named Peter Boddington, whose license was revoked 2 years ago. She asks Luke to help uncover more information on David.
You really think David killed Craig and that other guy?
Although Luke is still having reservations about Anna's suspicions, he agrees to help her nonetheless. When Luke is attacked again at school, he fights back by punching the bully in the face and hitting him with a yardstick. After they are both sent to the principal's office, David arrives with Laura to talk to the principal. David is pleased to find out that Luke took up his advice and fought back when he was bullied. Due to the school's policy against violence, the principal decides to expel Luke.
A gay student targeted with physical violence finally defends himself. And you're, what? Suspending him?
Using his quick wit and knowledge of law, David blackmails the school principal into going easy on Luke, coercing him to only give the boy a month of detention. Feeling indebted, Luke tells David of Anna's suspicions and her plans to report him to the authorities.
She thinks you killed Craig, and she's trying to make a case to the police so they'll let her boyfriend go.
At first, David shrugs it off casually, but when Luke reveals that he knows David is impersonating the real Collins with the help of the plastic surgeon, his expression turns grim instantly.
You killed Dad's boss too, right?
Nevertheless, Luke promises not to investigate any further or tell anyone else.
I'm not going to tell anyone about it. And nobody will believe Anna. She doesn't have anything against you.
David also finds out that Anna has told Kristen about him. While David is helping Laura with laundry, she expresses her heartfelt gratitude for his help and support to the family.
Everything. I'm really grateful.
David responds with slight unease and goes to retrieve the rest of the laundry. The truth comes out in a violent clash when Richard and his team arrive at the Peterson home. Before Richard has a chance to explain the situation to Laura, David reappears with the laundry, and both parties immediately engage in an intense shootout. With his leg injured, David attempts to make an escape, but encounters Laura in the kitchen. When she questions his real identity, he reveals that he and Caleb were in the same program. Hiding the knife in his hand, David is having second thoughts about killing Laura. However, she exposes his location without warning, prompting David to stab her in the chest with the kitchen knife. By then, David has slaughtered every member of the team except Richard. Driving away, he runs into Spencer.
I'm really sorry about this, sir.
Injured during the confrontation, David continues his mission to eliminate all loose ends. With his car tires flattened, Richard borrows a civilian's car to pick up Anna from the diner. Not long after their departure, David arrives at the same diner to look for Anna, but to no avail. Frustrated, he proceeds to kill Kristen by shooting her in the chest and blows up the diner with grenades. After receiving a call, Richard decides to go look for Luke. He reveals that David was a participant in a top-secret military medical program, an advanced behavioral conditioning program designed to create perfect soldiers. David escaped after setting the test facility ablaze, killing everyone inside, and leaving behind charred, unidentifiable bodies so that the world would believe he was dead. At the school's recreation center, Luke is serving after-school detention by helping out with prom preparations. He is about to answer Anna's call when the teacher warns him against using phones during detection and confiscates his phone. On the way to the recreation center, Anna and Richard notice police cars and fire trucks going in the opposite direction. Only then does Richard tell her about the incident at the diner.
Somebody attacked your diner right after we left. It was called in as an explosion.
An ominous feeling arises in Anna.
Wait, where are my parents?
They're both dead.
Richard goes on to explain David's neurological conditioning that protects both him and the experiment. When the experiment failed, David became a programmed killer, eliminating anyone who might compromise his identity. He is unlikely to stop himself even if he wants to. Soon, Anna and Richard arrive at the school, where a Halloween dance is underway inside a haunted house setup. As soon as they get to Luke, David announces his presence by cutting off the power. He then plays Anna's mixed CD over the speakers as he begins his final rampage. Amid the confusion and flickering lights, David kills Luke's teacher and Richard with a box cutter. At first, Luke refuses to believe that David is as sinister as Anna claims, even suggesting that they go talk to him.
What's going on? But David wouldn't hurt us.
However, his presumptions about David shatter when she tells him about their parents' demise.
He killed Mom and Dad.
After ensuring Luke is well hidden, Anna goes off on her own to find David. Now, showing his true colors, David searches for Luke in order to kill him.
Come on out, buddy.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Just when Luke thinks he's about to get caught, David gets distracted by some noise from afar. He follows a blood trail from the spot where Richard's gun had been and finds Anna standing behind him.
You killed my parents.
Keen to avenge her parents, she fires the gun at David, who collapses to the ground. Assuming she got him for good, Anna lets down her guard, only to get stabbed in the leg by David in a surprise attack. She attempts to shoot him, but the gun misfires and sparks a fire. David then proceeds to strangle her. In a final act of courage, Luke intervenes and stabs David with the knife David had given him, freeing Anna. Wounded, David tells Luke he did the right thing.
You did the right thing.
And gives a thumbs up before collapsing to the ground. In the aftermath, Anna and Luke sit outside in an ambulance, bloodied and shell-shocked.